were preyed upon in respect to their emotional vulnerabilities.
And in a desperate bid to look like Miranda Kerr, a Korean woman has had invasive plastic surgery to completely remodel her face. The obsessed fan also copies Kerr's fashion style, wears blue contact lenses and has posters of the supermodel all over her bedroom walls.
Strangely, in the morning I go for surgery. I'm with a James Packer. That's where I'm. I wanted Orlando Bloom, but they said no. You know, that's impossible.
You know, she's getting a lot of work. She makes a lot of money now that she looks like Miranda.
Do you think she actually looks like Miranda?
Not really, but
no.
people obviously do.
Why set the bar so high? Of all the people to mimic, like one of the world's most glamorous supermodels, the upkeep would be extraordinary.
Well, why did not do it at all? I mean, that would be a bigger question.
Do you reckon Miranda Kerr has to have surgery to look like Miranda Kerr?
I'm not going there. None of us are going there.
Speaking of beauties, Clive Palmer. Clive spoke today, and when he wasn't talking about banana splits, he moved on to more significant issues, such as chocolate.
So that debt's increased at an ever faster rate than any other time in our history. And why is it so, as Professor Julia Sumder-Miller used to say? How can you get a glass and a half of Cadbury's in one, what was it, a glass and a half? I forgot what it was anyway. But he used to say it.
He's not exactly Martin Luther King, is he?
I can't remember what he said in the ad, but I know I ate it.
Moving on now, and your childhood dog is dead and you're a mess. So should you have to go to work and act normally when your life is a big fat Labrador-shaped hole right in the middle of it?
We love our pets. In fact, the majority of us call Mittens, Fluffy or Fido best friend. And some crazy kids even adore Fang. Most of those who don't have a pet want one, and the rest of you have cold, dead hearts. And when they're always doing awesome stuff like this, it's little wonder that when they die, all you want to do is this.
They were just great dogs, so it's like just losing a great person. It doesn't matter who you replace that person with, they're gone.
Although they're backing away from it, a mining boss says one union's demanded employees get bereavement leave for pets. And with many owners rating Patricia the Pomeranian above mum and dad, is it such a bad idea?
Seeing that tight human-animal bond and seeing people so visually affected, I think that bereavement leave is certainly warranted.
After 3 days, my employer was ringing me up very gently asking me, saying, you could come back to work.
But not everyone's convinced that the empty hole Buster's just left in your life should be an excuse to get off work.
Unions, of course, say you should get leave for a whole variety of other things, but there has to be a limit. And the limit stops before you get, I think, to pet leave.
You want your employee to be back to functioning at a regular level. If you're not going to give them that emotional support that they need or time off so that they can deal with it, they're probably not going to be functioning to their same capacity.
But how would it work? If you've got 3 days of grieving for Rover, would you get half a day for Squeaky?
And how much would I get for Rocky here? Oh, don't worry, he's not dead, he's just sleeping.
I understand for a dog, but like, you know, like what if you're attached to your fish, you know? Well, you'd be having bereavement leave every week if it was your fish.
Yeah, you've got to be careful, like, because I've started just stocking up on lemmings. Yeah. Just great. You get so much leave.
Oh, you just buy a box of mice, and or you can buy dead mice now. You just buy dead mice and then coming to work. Sorry, I'm going home.
Do you have pets? Well, no, I don't have pets and I'm not a pet person, but I do actually think this is a good thing because people do have emotional attachments, but also if you've got kids, your kids might be traumatised, so stay home with them. You've got to dig a hole in the backyard. I mean, there are reasons.
Well, where do you draw the line? You have a head lice treated and you take a bloody month off. I mean, they're pets, technically.
No, they're not pets.
Well, I've bonded with mine, okay?
You do have a dog, don't you?
You do have head lice. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
We're going to take a break. Don't go away. Heaps more coming up after this.
Coming up, can you spell Numna?
N-U-M-N-A-H. Numna.
These kids will amaze you, and there's not a dictionary in sight. Plus, she's sung for Wills and Kate, and even the US President, British music royalty Ellie Goulding, joins us live. You're watching The Project.
Welcome back to The Project.
Well, with the help of spell check, we all think we're pretty good at spelling, but these kids would put Microsoft Word to shame. think it's meant to be shame.
The spelling bee is a long-held US tradition, as American as gridiron and jingoism. And when it comes to orthography championships, it doesn't get any bigger than the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Held since 1925, it's the Super Bowl of spelling and is always entertaining.
And Krazam.
Whatever.
The chickens have large talons.
Numbnut. Oh, numbnut.
It even comes fully equipped with its own special commentary.
What a precocious young man, huh?
But this isn't child's play. The competition is tough.
Munchausenism. Munchausenism.
Correct.
Hallenkrike. Obviously.
Come on, kid. Who can't spell Hallenkirker?
Hallenkirker. HALLENCREE.
This year it came down to Shriran Hathwa and Ansan Sujo, who had to spell this word to force a draw.
FEUILLETON.
Correct.
And with that, the boys took their place in the pantheon of advanced spelling and were declared the 2014 co-champions. The first time the title has been shared since 1962. Congratulations, boys. Now let's all go celebrate in a Hallenkirker.
Really, it's massive, isn't it? It's absolutely huge. And for mine, the star of the show was Jacob. He added some excitement to proceedings. Put it simply, Jacob was pumped.
Jacob Williamson.
Oh boy.
Radamanthan.
Radamanthan. Ah, yes. Radamanthan. RHADAMANTHINE. Radamanthan.
Correct.
You know.
Correct.
Absolute superstar, stole the show. But some say Jacob's excitement may have, in the end, cost him the title.
Kabaragoya.
Kabaragoya. I know it. I totally know it. Okay. Kabaragoya. CABARAGOYA. Kabaragoya. What?
And if it's any consolation, Jacob, I can't even say the word you're trying to spell.
I just think it's good to know that John McEnroe's kid is such a good speller.
If you have just joined us, here is a quick recap of today's headlines. And police are investigating whether a violent home invasion in Sydney's west that left a 69-year-old man dead was a robbery gone wrong. A Canberra inquiry has recommended David Eastman, the man convicted 19 years ago of murdering Federal Police Assistant Commissioner Colin Winchester, be pardoned and released. Child killer Warren Ross will serve at least 30 years of a 40-year sentence for the brutal murder of his stepdaughter, Tanilla Warwick-Deeves. Bill shock for Queenslanders, with the cost of electricity rising by 13.6% from July 1st, adding $191 to the average annual bill. And the key to having a daughter who aspires to greatness is for dads to do the housework. As studies found, fathers who help out at home are more likely to have daughters who aim for less traditional and potentially higher-paying careers.
No daughters for me, so no housework.
Yeah.
Worked out well. Petey wins again.
I feel sorry for my daughter because she's got neither. I'm not doing housework.
I don't think there's anything in that anyway. I like to think I'm, you know, I've made it in the world. My dad would shit around the house. I did nothing. Sorry, Dad, if you're watching, but you really didn't do much.
My wife didn't tell me she was working on that study at all. I'm very but actually,
you would be good. You'd be good around the house, aren't you?
I'll give you a sense of how ambitious my daughter is. When Julia Gillard became Prime Minister and my wife told my daughter that had happened, my daughter broke down into tears. Not out of joy for the sisterhood, but because she wanted to be the first female Prime Minister.
Well,
So you do a lot of
did you wave like this?
No, she's a Republican, Pete.
Well, moving on, and unions are claiming that some employers are overlooking Aussies and casting their eyes offshore in the search for workers, and that the government is making it easier for them to do so.
Around 8,000 nurses graduate in Australia each year. This year, up to 3,000 of them can't find work. They're joined in the search for a job by almost 70,000 tradies and technicians and 40,000 qualified managers. But even with all these and hundreds of thousands of other Aussies looking for work, this financial year Australian employers have recruited almost 40,000 foreign workers on 457 visas.
457 visas are denying workers opportunities. They're parents who know they can't get their kids a start in the workplace. There are unemployed workers who can't get a start themselves. 457 visas are certainly impacting on unemployed people in this country.
The 457 visa allows foreigners to work in Australia in their area of expertise for up to 4 years, supposedly in jobs that no local workers can be found to fill.
The real dilemma here for Australian employers is they've got jobs, but regularly they've got jobs in places that Australian skilled workers simply won't go to or maybe can't relocate to.
But the integrity of the 457 visa program came into question back in March when the government quietly reopened a loophole that allowed employers to hire more foreign workers than they'd applied for. Prior to the loophole being closed by Labor in 2013, one unnamed employer had approval to hire 100 457 workers over 3 years, but in half that time hired 800 without penalty. And now the government wants to end the requirement for foreigners to have 457 visas at all when working on offshore gas and oil projects.
If the government makes that decision, what they are doing is denying Australians opportunities to work in the offshore industry, and that is a disgraceful position.
So with serious fears that the 457 program is now ripe for rorting, should Aussies get used to being stuck at the end of the job queue?
Well, Aaron Lane is from the Institute of Public Affairs and joins us now. Aaron, there's no denying that 457 visas are important in some industries, but do you agree that they're hurting some genuine Aussies who are trying to find work here?
Look, no, I don't. I think that the 457